Hello, you are listening to the Pro Wrestling Post Podcast. I am your host, Mark Blake. Feeling slightly underweather with a sore throat, so bear with me, folks. Across the pond is my co-host who's probably going to have to pick up most of the slack today. Mark Madison, how are you, my dude?
I am doing well, and knowing that I can easily back up my brother from another mother easily without batting an eye, I will gladly do it, my friend.
I'm just hoping my voice my voice gets a bit high pitched at times, so sometimes strange dogs, their ears sort of perk up and come running towards me. So, but that was yesterday. Now I'm not too bad. I can't talk for too long, which is probably good news for you guys and girls. I'm all good. How are you? How's the last week been?
Outside of a sick daughter that we discovered had pneumonia, getting by okay, just making some as trucks aggressively drive through the house, but front of our house. I hope it doesn't get picked up. But otherwise, okay. We're getting set here for the back to school stuff, and I can't believe I got to say that, but yeah, that's all starting for us next week. Some shopping and maybe some barbecue, doing some landscaping, odds and ends here and there. Yeah.
Excellent. At least one of us is in good health. At least that's good news. Very good news. Now, as you may have noticed, on the title of this podcast is the All In Preview. And I don't know if I've dropped this in the recording or I can't quite remember because I'm feeling a bit feverish, but I'm going to All In this weekend. And I've been looking forward to this for over a year. Or it's nearly a year, actually.
Nearly a year. Yeah, nearly a year.
Yeah, because this time last year I was with Mark in Toronto having a grand old time, whilst a few of my close personal friends were at last year's All In, and I got flooded with messages at the end of the show basically saying they're coming back next year. And I've now made it my life's mission to get tickets, and my lovely wife did get tickets, and the three of us are going, me, her, and the wingman. I'm going to spend an enormous amount of money on merchandise, and I may have to start promoting other stuff on this pod to pay for my wrestling merchandise debt. So yes, that is today's episode. Now, last week I did say if I can twist his arm, you would be hearing the wise words of my wingman. That's right, my 12, soon to be 13-year-old son joined me for a special interview. When was it? Monday, I think it was, to discuss the card and give you, me, them, everybody, his predictions for All in London. Now, it was meant to be a 10-minute pod. Well, 10-minute pod? A 10-minute interview.
Conversation.
Thank you.
Yeah.
God, you can tell I'm not well. I can't even get my words out straight. It was meant to be a 10-minute interview. It kind of stretched out to half an hour. And I tried cutting it down. But if I cut it down, then a lot of the stuff that we were talking about wouldn't make sense. So I really hope you bear with us. And because right now you're going to listen to the wise words, not of myself, but of my 12, soon to be 13-year-old son. Enjoy. He makes some really good comments. Hello, all you lovely millions out there. This is Mark Blake with a very special guest. I did tease you all last week that I might get the views of my wingman, and lo and behold, my wingman is right here, and we're going to quickly talk about All In. Now, just to fill you in on a little bits and pieces, this is going to be his, and mine for that matter, biggest wrestling event ever. Obviously, they haven't sold as many tickets as last year. I think they sold 70,000. I think there's only 50,000 sold so far. But we don't care, because last year they didn't have us, and this year it will have us. So it's instantly better. And yeah, it's huge. It's going to be a massive event. My wingman is rather nervous about talking and the show itself. So let's ease you in, okay? So this is my wingman. Say hi.
Hi.
There we go. He is 12, nearly 13, which scares me because he's nearly a teenager, and that's when hormones kick in. And if you've ever seen Kevin and Perry, you know what I'm in for. But he is a massive wrestling fan. He did some training. He trained on and off for, 3 years with Genesis Professional Wrestling, who, by the way, will be at Wembley on the day of the show. They have a show at the Green Man Pub at 12 p.m, which we will be attending. Can't wait. Little plug them for there, guys. Little plug there for them, guys. Anyway, let's crack on. So, are you excited about the show?
Yeah.
You are, yeah? Okay. Are you excited because it's AEW over here? Are you excited because it's at Wembley Stadium? What about it excites you?
It's like my first proper big
show.
So, yeah.
What have you done? You saw SmackDown in
NXT.
Toronto.
NXT, like,
You didn't see
5
NXT.
years ago.
You didn't see it. You saw a house show. There's you, me, your mum, and Dan Conroy. We went to the house show, didn't we? Yeah. And you dressed up as Finn Balor. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, you didn't go to NXT. Me and your mum went to NXT.
Oh, yeah.
You're getting crosswise. Anyway, that doesn't matter. So you're excited because it's like the biggest show you've ever been to.
Yeah.
So it's going to be like pretty much double and more of a crowd than what you've ever been to.
Yeah.
A bit scary. It's going to be loud.
Yeah.
Especially me. I'm going to lose my absolute mind if some of these predictions come true that I've got in my head, which we're going to talk about right now. Okay, so first things first. Let's talk about... We're not talking about the pre-show. And this is recorded a few hours before Dynamite on Wednesday, because that's when we've got a chance to do this. So more matches might possibly be added to the card. If so, we do apologise. And we can't obviously see into the future. But we'll give you our opinions for what's going on now. The Casino Gauntlet match, you do know what that is, don't you?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, okay. So basically, it's like 2 men start, and then it's like a Royal Rumble, but no one gets thrown out. It's just like whoever starts, it's like masses and masses of people, submissions, pinfalls. Last person wins is the number one contender for the World Championship.
Yeah.
So the World Champion could either be Bryan or Swerve, but we'll get to that at the end. Do you have any people that you would like in the Gauntlet match? The only person that's been announced is Orange Cassidy, which is awesome because I know you're a massive Orange Cassidy fan.
Yep.
Okay. Is there anyone... I've got a little list here, which you're looking at. Is there anyone on there that you think would be a good winner for the match? Pac. Good shout. Good shout. Do you know why he's a good shout?
No.
A, because he's awesome and he's an amazing wrestler, and B, he's British. He's from Newcastle, and I know you can't say it, but I will. He's a bastard. So Pac would be a very good shout. He hasn't been announced for a match so far. Who else on there?
Adam Page.
Adam Hangman Page. That's a very good shout, and I'll tell you the reason why that's a good shout. I have a feeling he's going to win that, and I think he will challenge the winner of the main event at Grand Slam, which I think is in September in New York. There is a reason. I can't talk about it too much because it gives away the end, like what my prediction for the main event. But yeah, I think he's going to win. Have you got any other people you think of? John Moxley. He's been away for a while. He's not been on TV for quite a while, since he lost the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. So has he gone off to just rest, relax and recuperate? Or is he just literally at home training his nuts off and coming back as jacked and as he can be? Can I tell you one that I think I saw this one, and I did kind of say he might turn up. I think Ricochet is going to turn up. I don't think he's going to win, but I think Ricochet is going to turn up and blow everyone's minds, because Ricochet's goddamn awesome. He's amazing. You know he's amazing. Let's hope that he's there. And backing off of that, I think because his contract has now run out, it wouldn't surprise me if Bobby Lashley turns up. Ooh. Or as someone that I met on Friday night. All right, Paul, how you doing? He said Robert Lashless, because AEW kind of changed people's names. So it's not Bobby, it's Robert. And Lashley, Lashless. Yeah, get it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get it. That's my predictions. I don't know. I think Adam Page is going to win. I really do think it's going to be an amazing, completely mental match as the Casino Gauntlets always are. And yeah, that sounds all kinds of awesome. The next one we are looking at is something that was announced on Saturday on Collision. It is the London ladder match for the World Trios Championship. That's 12 people in a ladder match. How do you think it's going to be?
It's going to be mayhem.
Mayhem? Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be absolute mayhem. I mean, obviously we've had TLC matches before, but, you know, I think the maximum participants in that was 9. There's an extra team in this, and it's ladders galore. So we have the Bang Bang Gang, which is Juice and the Guns, versus the House of Black.
They've had some beef.
They have had beef recently. The House of Black, obviously Malachi, Brody King and Buddy, versus a mystery team, which we don't know right now at time of recording. Obviously you guys do. I'm kind of stumped. I think it could be Top Flight, because they're a trio. They're high flyers, and I think they've had some kind of ladder matches before. So they might be in there just to fill the gaps, kind of.
It could be some of what's his name? Like Takeshita and like them.
The family?
Yeah.
I think Takeshita could come back.
Or
because
it might be the big trio guys, like the muscly.
the big guys.
Yeah.
Like Brian Cage.
The other two.
Cage of Agony. Yeah. Could be. But Takeshita's a good shout with the family, because he was in Japan wrestling on the G1, and now the G1's finished, he can come back to AEW. So that's a good shout. And obviously you've got the champions, which is the Patriarchy, Christian Cage, Nick Wayne, and Killswitch. You've already said it's going to be mayhem and madness. Do you have a winner?
Mystery.
The mystery team?
Yeah.
Oh, just to swerve it a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. I like the whole fact that the mystery team has just come out of nowhere and won the whole damn shebang. That's cool. I have an idea. I think the Bang Bang Gang are going to win and recapture the titles, because Switchblade will come back. I think because he's been off injured, Switchblade will come back and help them win the titles in a kind of sweet Jay White.
Oh,
Jay White.
Switchblade, yeah.
There you go. In a kind of dastardly way that only he can do, but I've said for years that he's awesome. So you're looking forward to that. That's going to be 2 completely mayhem kind of matches. Then we're going to slow things down a little bit. There's something that's a bit more, what's the word? A bit more kind of personal. We've got the World Tag Team Championship, where FTR will take on the Acclaimed, who take on the Young Bucks. Now, you didn't see Dynamite last week, and you didn't see Collision either, did you?
I saw the end of Collision, I'm pretty sure.
At the end of Dynamite last week, FTR kind of cost the Acclaimed their...
No, it was Dynamite that I watched.
I
saw FTR and the Acclaimed.
That's right. So FTR kind of got involved in the match because the Young Bucks, I think it was Matt? I think he
Nick
spat.
that spat in
Dax's face.
Dax's face, and then
Which
he
was
got the chair.
Totally gross. So then on Saturday just gone, you had the winner goes on to face the Young Bucks.
But I'm guessing that
it went to a time limit draw, 30-minute time limit draw.
Yeah.
And there was brawling afterwards, and then in the end, Chris Daniels, he come out and said, right, that's it. We I can't choose a winner. All 3 of you, you're going to have a banger of a match, which it will be. Who do you think is going to pick up the victory?
The Acclaimed. I want the Acclaimed to win, but I think the FTR is going to win.
I want the Acclaim to win as well. I hope that they do, because the pop they're going to get over here is going to be insane, and be even bigger if they win. But I have a sneaky feeling the Bucks are going to sneak away with it. Don't know why. I can't see them dropping them just yet. FTR, no, because they kind of got this thing.
They don't really need it.
They don't need it. That's true. They don't need it, but they've got a thing going on with the Acclaimed. So,
or maybe the Acclaimed win it, and then they have like beef.
Could do. I mean, the beef. Sorry.
And then the Acclaimed will hold it for at least like another year, and then they'll lose it to the FTR.
Possibly. See, you're getting your booking head on now, aren't you? See, you've been listening to me too much. So you think that You think that the Acclaimed is going to win?
Yeah.
Yeah? And you want the Acclaimed to win?
Yeah.
I want the Acclaimed to win, but I think the Bucks are going to sneak it in their dirty elite ways.
I reckon the Bucks are going to try and sneak it, but then a mysterious figure is going to come out and stop them from doing it.
Ooh.
Like someone that they've had beef with, like, early on. Maybe, like, Hangman or Kenny Omega.
I think Kenny and Kota Ibushi will be there, but I don't think they're going to wrestle.
It could stop the Young Bucks from doing something sneaky. Maybe.
Yeah, possibly. That could work, because Kenny can't wrestle because he's not long had surgery, so he's just getting over his diverticulitis surgery. But we'll see. But I like that idea, because they don't have to wrestle or get involved that way. They can just do something like a tip a ladder over, leave the ring, and then they've screwed over the Bucks. I like that idea. You heard that? You heard it here first, folks. Okay, we've got to rattle through this card now. We have the FTW Championship, or if you want to call it by Jericho's name, For the World. Do you know what FTW stands for?
No.
No, good.
You said before, but I don't know.
Good. Taz created this championship in ECW years ago, and he never actually mentioned what FTW stood for. It could be For the World. It could be The World. The World?
Oh.
There you go. Something like that. The stipulation to this is if Chris Jericho retains, Hook can never, ever go for the FTW Championship again.
Hook.
So you're saying Hook to win?
Yeah.
Yeah? I think Hook's going to win.
He's had so much built anger in him. He's just going to let it all out on Jericho and just like beat him.
He's going to beat him.
And Big Cat. Not Big Cat, that's his old name.
It's the Redwood, isn't he? It's the Redwood Big Bill.
Big Bill.
Because Jericho's part of the learning tree. So
okay.
He's a redwood tree because he's so tall. I'm with you. I think Hook's going to win. I think after what happened with the fireball and the loss of the eye, I reckon he's going to start the match with the bandage on.
And then he's going to, like, secretly take it off and go because Jericho, like,
yeah,
I'm fine now.
Exactly. That's exactly. He's going to suplex him out of his boots, and Hook is going to win, and we're all going to cheer. And I can't wait to hear his music over the PA system, because Hook has amazing entrance music. So we're both saying Hook, yeah?
Yep.
I don't know where this is going to be on the card, but it's going to be near the top, I think. This is the AEW American Championship, used to be the International Championship. Will Ospreay, the hometown hero, takes on MJF. Now, the build to this has been amazing. You didn't watch the promo the other night, the vignettes video package that was on. It was really, really good. I'll show you, obviously, before we go. Obviously, you know that they have, as you keep saying, beef between each other. Who do you think is going to win and why?
I want Will Ospreay to win because the crowd, like, his hometown, if he wins, everyone's going to go mental about it. But I have a feeling MJF's going to sneak it.
Okay, long-time listeners will know that I'm not Will's greatest fan. I'm a huge fan of Will the wrestler. I'm not so much a fan of Will the person. Now, put that aside, I do think that you're right. I think that MJF is going to sneak this, but
with his golden ring.
I don't think it's even that. I reckon someone's going to turn on Will. I reckon Kyle Fletcher, who is one of Will's best friends. See, the eyes light up now. He's going to turn.
That's Kyle Fletcher, the guy from the Dallas Family.
That's the one.
That used to be, with the blonde hair.
That's
and
it.
stuff.
He's jacked and everything. Yeah. That's Kyle Fletcher. I reckon he's going to turn and cost Will the match. But I reckon we'll get our feel-good moment a little bit later on with the women's title match. But I think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be a great match because I don't see the chemistry that him and MJF have got, that Will's got with Brian or Kenny or someone else like that. I think it's going to be a good match, but it's not going to be a great match. What about you?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a bit boring and it's like slow, but then it's going to like pick up pace, and then, like you said, Kyle Fletcher's going to turn and the whole crowd's going to go, ooh.
Yeah. Crowd are going to boo their proverbial nuts off. Let's move on to the TNT Championship, which is being contested in a coffin match. why Jack Perry asked for this. Jack Perry actually asked for this match.
I thought it was Darby Allin that asked for it.
No, Jack Perry asked for it. He's playing this character where he hasn't got a death wish, but he's not scared of anything. So that's why he's kind of called out. Yeah, fine. I'll take you. I'll take you on in a coffin match. It's fine. Darby, Jack, for the championship, TNT Championship in a coffin match. Now you know the reasons why. What do you reckon?
See, they're both really good wrestlers, and they're like both like, how can I say it? It's like they're both like they will do anything to win the match. Like Darby will do crazy stuff just to win. So will Jack Perry. So it's like a hard decision to make.
Yeah, they would do anything. Whereas, as you said, Darby will literally put his whole body and life on the line. Jack Perry will do kind of the same, but with a bit more restraint, where he knows that he would come on top. So, with that in mind, who do you reckon is going to win? And do you think, bearing in mind that it's a coffin match, do you think there's going to be some outside interference or shenanigans?
I don't really know. I think Darby's going to win.
You think Darby's going to win?
Yeah.
Wow. You love Darby Allin, though, don't you?
Yeah.
You think Darby's going to win? I think Jack's going to win because someone from the Elite, because obviously Jack's part of the Elite. So, I don't know. Maybe Okada could come out. So I don't think Okada's got a match just yet. Although, obviously, he's facing Claudio. He's facing him on Wednesday night for the title. So that might get...
Rainmaker.
Yeah, that might get some kind of match added onto Sunday's card. But I think Jack's going to win by some kind of hokey shenanigans. And there'll be a rematch at All Out, which is in 2 weeks' time, between the two, with another added stipulation, like a coffin on fire match or some completely ridiculous stipulation. But yeah, that's going to be cool.
I just want to see Sting just come out the coffin one more time.
Oh my God.
More time.
Could you imagine that if Sting was in the coffin?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Just one more time. I want to see it one more time.
That'd be amazing. I didn't even think about that. That's a good shout. I like that.
Like Darby and stuff.
Okay, now we're coming back up to the top three. We'll go with this one first because I will talk about that in a minute. So we'll go with the AEW Women's World Championship, where Mariah May, the evil, dastardly Mariah May, will take on Timeless Toni Storm. This has been amazing. The build to this, the story behind it, has been amazing. And I think it's been Tony Khan's love child of a story. He kind of made this up. And he made the story, but he's used inspiration from 1930s, 40s and 50s films. It's just amazing. I absolutely adore it. What do you think is going to happen, and who do you think is going to win?
Who's got the title? Is it
So Toni Storm's got the title, and Mariah May is challenging.
Mariah May turned on Toni because she wanted
right.
to be like her, but then end up doing something else.
She basically just used her to get to
where she
a
is
point.
now.
Yeah, to get to where she is now, basically. Yeah. Yeah, it's
Another
difficult,
hard
isn't it?
one.
Because Mariah May is English, Toni Storm is Australian, but the crowd will be, I'm going to say, 95% behind Toni.
Yeah.
And I think Toni's going to win. I just think that the way the story is going, Mariah has had the upper hand way too much recently, and I think it's Toni time.
Does Mariah have a co-worker or something?
No, she's all. But saying that though, Mina, I can't think. Shirakawa, who is a tag team partner from Japan, she's kind of hanging around, so that could work. So she could have Mina help her beat Toni. That makes sense. I didn't think about that.
But then Toni has a male servant. Never mind.
I
reckon Mariah's gonna win.
You reckon Mariah's gonna win?
With a little cheat.
I think Toni's gonna win, but it's gonna be very, very close, and Mariah's gonna get a rematch, probably All Out. But I think just for the pop that she's gonna get, and the reaction that us crowd are gonna give her for when she wins, I think she's gonna I think she's going to get it. Okay, we'll go to the TBS Championship, which is one I'm really not interested in, and I'll tell you, well, a lot of you know why. It is Britt Baker against Mercedes Moné.
She's done barely any. She's done one match, hasn't she?
Oh, you sound like me so much. Yes, Mercedes really hasn't done that much since she come back.
Wait, does she have the title? Oh.
She's the champ, yeah. She's a double champ because she's also the New Japan Strong Women's title.
Yeah, she can let go of one title.
So you reckon Britt's going to
Yeah.
win? I think Britt could win. I think Mercedes is going to retain because of nothing to do with being better or anything like that, but because Tony Khan has invested so much time and money in her that it would be silly to take the title off her right now. She was promoting next year's All In. She was a high point of that. There was like a big focus on her. And I just can't see her losing the title, which sucks because Britt Baker's awesome, even if she has got a bad rep recently. But, you know, we'll cover that at another time. I that's what I think. What about you?
I still think Britt Baker.
You
Because
still think Britt, yeah?
she's only first Willow, and Willow's kind of an easy, not easy, but like a medium kind of wrestle.
Okay, yeah.
And Britt Baker's been in like AEW for like way longer, and
She's
like,
an OG.
Yeah,
She's a pillar.
and she's like helped build and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So so we've got a little bit of conflict going on there. So you think Brett, I think Mercedes. I think, okay, I'll narrow it down. I think Mercedes will win. Do you know she's got like help now? She's got Camille, who is, her nickname is the Brick House because she's very tall and she's very strong. She's like, it's obviously it's been spoken about before, but this pairing between Mercedes and Camille reminds me of HBK and Diesel back in the day. And I reckon she'll retain somehow through Camille.
Who does Britt Baker have on her side?
No one.
Oh,
Absolutely no one. Unless a certain Jamie Hayter comes back. That's just literally popped into my head. That could work. So Jamie Hayter could come back to help like negate the Camille
Negotiate.
influence. And then, yeah. Good thinking. Glad you thought of that. Because I don't know too much about, because Jamie Hayter got injured. And it was apparently a really bad injury, but nothing's been said or heard from her since. So, maybe.
how long ago was that?
She's been gone nearly a year. She
Must
was
be
women's
fit.
champ as well. Yeah, it's a shame. But yeah, that could work. There could be a lot of returns. A lot of returns by the sound of it.
Sting.
It's Sting! Okay, we've been going nearly 25 minutes. Wow. This was only supposed to be 10 minutes. Right. Now we are at the final countdown. Oh my God, I cannot wait for this to come out. Once the final countdown hits, I'm going to cry like a baby. I'm telling you. It is the title versus career. It is Bryan Danielson putting his career up against Swerve Strickland's AEW World Heavyweight Championship. I am conflicted.
Daniel.
Wow, you're saying Bryan straight away?
Yep.
You're saying Dragon, yeah?
Yep.
Okay. Any reasons why?
You've already said this like before when we were watching Dynamite. Swerve has been showing off in Bryan's face for a long time now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that he's just gone too far and he's going to lose all his stuff inside his thing, and Daniel's going to let it all out on him.
So Daniel's just going to... sorry, Bryan. Bryan, dude.
Sorry, Bryan.
So Bryan's going to have lots of pent-up aggression and rage, and it's all
Yeah.
going to come out on Sunday. I'm in two minds. Okay, so up until a couple of hours ago, I was thinking Bryan wins the title, fireworks going off, and then he'll lay the title down in the middle of the ring, he'll take his boots off, and he'll walk to the back. Because he did promise his daughter that he would retire this soon when his contract ran out. His contract ran out on the 1st of August. So he's now working without a contract. So one way or another, this is going to be his last match. And what better way to do it than to win the big one and then have that Rocky moment. This means nothing to you, but have that Rocky moment where he goes hey, I did it, Birdie, I did it. That's his daughter's name. I did it. And then retires like that. That's what I thought. And then I started thinking about Adam Page winning the title, and we could get Hangman against Swerve again for the title, and them two have amazing chemistry, and they have a story that goes back quite a while. So I'm kind of stuck. I really want the Bryan story to come true, but I have a feeling Swerve's going to win.
I reckon your story's right about Bryan,
Yeah.
and the belt's gonna go into like a elimination or whatever match it is to get the title,
Yeah.
and then it's gonna be Swerve and Hangman last to whoever gets the title.
What is it like in a tournament?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it's like a normal tournament, like like Cody Rhodes' dad.
Dusty.
It's like a tournament like that. Like,
The Dusty Classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like that, but it's for the title.
Okay.
And it's gonna be Adam first, Swerve at the end.
At the end, in the
Yeah.
final. See, that works even better. Yeah. Yeah, that works even better. Because we all know Tony Khan does like a tournament. And it's been at least 4 weeks since the last tournament. So this makes a lot of sense. And if you can maybe have it at a Grand Slam. Yeah, I like that idea. Yeah. So that way, both my ideas are right.
Yeah.
Because I'm a booking genius.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's the right word. Well done. You get your pocket money now.
Sweet.
Cool. I think we're done.
Yeah.
I think we're done. Anything you want to say to the millions out there before I hand it back to Mark?
Bye.
Is that it? Have I not taught you better than that?
No.
Oh my word. Okay, I'll do the sign off. So this has been myself, Mark Blake, and my wingman. We are going to AEW this Sunday. That was our predictions. Maybe they're right, maybe they're wrong. Who knows? I've had a lot of fun doing this. If you lot liked the sound of it, let us know in the comments, in the DMs. They're always open. You know all this stuff. I don't need to keep telling you. Right, I'm going to pass you back to Mark Madison. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. There we have it, folks. The Wingman making his podcast debut, our first guest.
Yeah, bravo. Well, welcome.
Yes. Yeah, obviously he's not here. He is,
Nope.
I don't know what he's doing now. He could be eating his dinner. He could be playing Fortnite. He could be making his own promotion for a while. No, I'm not sure. But yeah, he had lots of fun. As you heard, he started off a bit timid, and then halfway through he kind of found himself, and then by the end he was throwing out theories and predictions like they were no one's business.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really good.
I mean, he really makes it seem like it doesn't have to be complicated. I mean, he's got enough of an idea of just watching and observing, and then able to just apply that to thinking, and like logically this makes sense and this makes sense. Why can't they just do it this way? Like he's got storyteller within him. The future is bright.
Yes, I'm hoping that he does make a promotion and makes us lots of money. It's either that or he's going to be a YouTuber and make us lots of money. That's his two aims, I think, at the moment. It was one of the best chats I've had with him for a while. I really enjoyed it. I hope it come across that I was enjoying it, and I hope you all out there enjoyed it too. Now, that being said, I've obviously given my thoughts, feelings, and predictions for this weekend. How about you? Why don't you, Mr. Madison, over there, across the pond, give us your predictions for this weekend's All-In card? I'm going to try and remember how I did it with Logan in the order. So let's go with the Casino Gauntlet match. That was the first one. Now,
Yep.
do you have any other wrestlers, talents?
Okay, so we know that Orange Cassidy's the one that's secured to be in
Yeah.
there. But there's a plethora of names, even just if they're healthy, that say they're coming back from injury and it's kept on the down low when they appear. Whether it's Adam Cole, or I know you're not necessarily a fan of per se, but Wardlow, if John Moxley is part of it, which doesn't seem like his cup of tea because he might challenge or do something else. Let's see if Okada being a part of it. I think there's, of all the guys and girls that are involved, I think Logan picked Pac Did he not?
He began with Pac, and then his
Yeah.
Michael kind of ran away with himself, and he started picking half the roster at one point.
Yeah. No, which was a really good shout out because it feels like with some of the promo work that Pac's been given a chance to come across and do it. It's in London. It feels like it would be a nice story to have included him and make him part of that. But I mean, it really is. If Claudio is part of it, that's a good inclusion just in it. If Jay White is well enough and he returns, Adam Cole, like I just for it's crazy. Just seeing the injured roster could make the Casino Gauntlet more exciting if they're all a part of it. But I'm sure that they're gonna probably have some local guys, maybe some surprises. Maybe this is the night where we see Ricochet make a debut and come out and surprise everybody, right?
Yeah.
I think that would probably get a great reaction, no?
Oh, hell yeah. Ricochet. The guy's
Yeah.
insanely talented. I mean, everyone's waiting for him to jump over and start feuding with Will Ospreay straight away. They're going to hold off on that for as long as possible if Ricochet comes over. But yeah, the crowd are going to go absolutely ballistic if Ricochet turns up. You see what I did there? If Ricochet arrives.
Yeah.
You said about local guys, and after the record with the Wingman the other night, another name popped into my head: Michael Oku.
Ooh, which apparently he's signed.
Yeah, in all intents and purposes, he's signed. So he could turn up, or he could turn up in a match later on in the night, which obviously we'll get to. But yeah, there's plenty of local guys. Trent Seven's around as well because I'm going to possibly see Trent at Wembley at some point. Not personally, if people think I'm bragging, I'm not. It's just like I know he's there. So yeah, it could be like 50 wrestlers. This could be like the GCW Cluster F that was held at WrestleMania, which still goes down as one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my life. The amount of people, as you said, that was on the injury list that could come back, the people that could come in because they're special attraction talents, it could be very, very, very good.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, if there's anybody that stands out, I think for Orange to be involved, he's someone to be considered a threat. I know he challenged Omega at one point for the title. Again, unsuccessful, but I think if we go local, I might go Pac just because of the commitment. I think it's a nice change in somebody that deserves it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Pac and maybe Cassidy is like another person to think of. Just because if we're trying to look at storytelling, which is something they really try to say, it's a feel good moment. It's at home. Yeah, so that's my call.
Excellent. I'm not too sure if the Wingman actually chose Pac in the end, or if he was trying to cover pretty much all bases by naming half the roster. So that's cool. I'm liking that. The only thing I'm going to say is that I can't see Tony Khan booking too many hometown hero good stories. You know.
Yeah.
I love all our guys and girls to walk away victorious, but it's not really going to happen. So he's got to pick and choose. But yeah, Pac, as you said, he's 100% deserves it. Since he's come back from injury, he's been this dark and brooding self, and the promos and vignettes he's been making recently have been very, very good. So yeah, great shout. Great shout. Now, where did we go next? I think it was, why have they called this the London Ladder Match for the World Trios Championship? It annoys me. It annoys. It's like the Baltimore barroom brawl.
Alliteration.
And I know it's alliteration, but it just annoys me. It's just a bloody ladder match. Just call it that. Anyway, it is the Bang Bang Gang, which is Juice Robinson and the Guns versus the House of Black, Malachi Brody and Buddy Matthews against a mystery team, which obviously we're going to talk about, against the champions, the Patriarchy even, Christian Cage, Nick Wayne and Lucius, Killswitch. Okay, first of all, who do you think is your mystery team? Because you kind of mentioned it before we jumped on. And then secondly, who's your winner?
So I think It's funny. I was writing one team, and I know you guys talked about Cage of Agony potentially being one, which is that makes sense because there's part of it. But more recently, there's been these promos or backstage vignettes where Scorpio Sky's wanting to talk to Private Party about business. And what better opportunity to talk business but a championship opportunity? It's not the biggest surprise that would make sense for them to come in, but seeing is that they gave him TV time to talk about something, it would feel very underwhelming to spend that time to do something if something doesn't happen. That could be something that is played out too. So as far as a surprise team, that could be it. Another surprise team could be Top Flight with Action and Andretti. They seem to have done a few things together. And you're going to get great work and lots of spots in an action-packed match, especially with those three. Those are my couple of like surprise teams. In the grand scheme of things, maybe not the biggest names, but if it works within the context there, unless they're really going to go off the grid and again somebody local and they pull in somebody, could that be a possibility? I don't know. You could speak to that better than I could. But as far as winner, man, it's really hard to pick against how dastardly and underhanded the patriarchy can be. Like it almost feels like it's Christian Cage's titles to lose as opposed to his teams to lose. So yeah, I have a hard time not seeing them. If we felt like some sort of quality amongst the other teams, maybe. Juice, when Juice is given a chance to chat, man, and talk and promo, he's a lot of fun. I just don't know if he's gotten that. For better for worse, yeah, I'm gonna go for the patriarchy.
Ooh,
But hopefully, yeah.
controversial. Staying with your Canadian brethren there. I see what's going on. I see what's going on. It's going to be mayhem. That's it. That's all that matters. It's going to be this and the next match. It's just going to be absolute carnage. And hopefully, and I'm touching everything that's wooden that I can find, I'm hoping that everyone walks away injury-free because ladder matches one-on-one are pretty nasty. There's going to be 12 people involved in this ladder match. So this is, I'm hoping that all 12 get together and just work this out as best as they possibly can. And hopefully no one goes Darby Allin kind of stupid. Talking of which, the next match... See, I'm getting good at this. The next match
segues.
Is for the TNT Championship, and Darby Allin will face off against Jack Perry in a coffin match. So it's 2 years in a row that a coffin match has been held at All in London. What's your take?
My take is, it's funny. I've listened to Jimmy Corderas, former WWF referee. It's kind of a shout out there, and he makes some points that kind of made me think about it. And so while I can't take credit for the thought per se, I do kind of question, is the match like a one-off? Is it the culmination? Is this the blowout match? Because the last casket or coffin match was that Perry had was, I thought, against Christian Cage, where he ended it, right? It's like he symbolic of like closing the chapter, closing the door on that. I know we're going to expect calamity. We're going to just mayhem, as you guys have put it. It's going to be wall to wall. I have a hard time trying to understand Jack Perry's gimmick. He walks to the ring with a goat head. I mean, not fully to the ring, but he just walks out with a goat head on. Why? Is it? I just totally don't get it. Is this so?
He's the scapegoat.
I like what he's
the scapegoat.
Yeah.
Goat head, scapegoat.
Yeah, no, I get but it's as awkward as like Sammy Guevara walking out with a panda head on. When he did that. I don't.
Cool, that's a throwback.
That is. That's my line of like, but why? He's not like the Beast Mortos where he's wearing a beast head. I don't know. Maybe it's probably just me. And I actually asked this on social media. I'm like, somebody help me understand. And somebody said that it's his evolution in reverse. First he was a boy, then he was a goat. So I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure where he's going after the goat. But I'm concerned. Hermaphrodite? I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's proper popped me. Oh man, imagine Benjamin Button like that. Oh wow, what a film that would
Yeah,
have been. Oh
yeah, that would
wow.
have been. You have to censor that from beginning to end, probably.
Ah,
But yeah,
evolutionary verse. Love it.
yeah. So okay, so I guess can I say what you mentioned to me off air, what you heard,
Go for it.
or
Go for it.
yeah? So good Mr. Blake shared with me word that he's heard that there's going to be a real push behind Darby Allin. He didn't climb Mount Everest, but maybe he's climbing a hypothetical mountain, maybe in capturing the AEW World Championship, which would be cool. So if that's the case, him winning tonight or winning on this night doesn't make sense, and a win by Jack would work because Darby would be on to bigger, better things. So I think for Jack's character, he probably needs a good, like, notable pillar to beat and make it Darby. So yeah, after what you've mentioned and like putting two and two together, I think Jack's gonna be the one to pull it out tonight on that night.
Yeah. As you said, Jack needs to solidify himself as this evil version of himself. This evolution into an evil goat or whatever you want to call it. And what better person than Darby Allin? The guy, Darby doesn't need a title to be over. The guy is over. He's so
Yeah.
over. He doesn't need anything to, push himself anymore. So yeah, Jack to win. And as I said to you, if he is going to win the title, there's no point picking this up. A double champion doesn't really make much sense right now either.
Are we gonna see real fire? Sorry, I had to say that.
Real glass, real fire. Oh, it could be everything, couldn't it?
Yeah,
What else? Real coffin.
I think, oh man, if somebody gets thrown into a river and cries, I will love it.
They'll do a little.
They're fighting up the odds into a river. Somebody cry.
It's not a river close to Wembley, I think.
No.
Ah, that sucks. But if the Wingman's prediction of Sting popping out of a casket it comes true, oh my god, I am not going to hear the end of it.
He's gone gray. He's just recently was at the He's just got made it into the Cauliflower Alley Club Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
and yeah, his beatnik piece in his beard is all gray, and he's let his hair start turning white. Yeah,
he's embraced.
It could be very different.
He's embraced it. That's what he's done. Bless him.
He has.
He deserves it. Now, somebody who deserves retribution is Chris Jericho, as Hook takes on Chris Jericho for the FTW Championship. Damn, I am so good at this. Oh,
woo.
So the FTW Championship. What do you call it? Out of interest.
Oh, what I call FTW?
Yeah, what would you call the FT? What do you call it? Is it the F the world? Is it for the world? Forget the world?
No. I thought it was always what Taz had called it, being F the world, literally F the world, right?
That's right. I just wanted to know. Sorry.
Because,
Carry on.
No problem. So he's talking about Chris Jericho looking for retribution, but it's more like Hook that's got his wearing one badge over his eye, and Samoa Joe's out, and Shibata isn't listed as being around. He could always pop up. But if anything, the odds are more so against Hook. I think this would be Hook's match. If anything, it's supposed to elevate him, so maybe this is him winning the title back. It's not a win that Jericho needs. I think the Jericho rub has been really good for Hook and for Big Bill and Brian Keith and everybody that's involved in this. But this is, I think it's good that Hook is the one that ultimately goes over here.
Yeah, definitely. It's nothing but a Hook victory here because, again, Jericho doesn't need this title. He has elevated it like he does with pretty much everything that he's ever touched. I've also found out today that he is singing himself to the ring again this year. So that's something to look forward to.
What's he going to sing? Because is he going to sing Fozzy?
That's what I was thinking.
No,
it can't be. It can't be Judas. If he sings to Judas, it will be cool because obviously, for us in the live audience, personally, I have never heard him sing live. But yeah, that sounds cool. Hook to win.
All right.
Pretty much scratched it off the list. Now, the World Tag Team Championship is being contested as a three-way with FTR taking on the Acclaimed, who will all face the current champions, the Young Bucks. What's your take? Do you like the build to this, by the way?
I do. I like how it turned into like going to be. You think potentially the Acclaimed have got this match won, and then FTR gets involved. Like, why? You've just cost us this opportunity for what, right? So your own selfish. If anything, it makes FTR kind of look selfish, right? Greedy, and I know you, but why? What was the need to have to get involved? I'm with your wingman. I'm with you guys in hoping that the Acclaimed are the ones that walk away. But I also agree with you that if any team could snatch it, it would be the Young Bucks. But I don't know. As far as a team, I'm really, really just pulling for the Acclaimed to be the ones to walk away. If there's a team that's been hampered by injuries and then booking, and it feels like right now there's been so many things where Max Caster's mic's been cut because the EVPs can't do that now. So there's been, I guess, these callbacks to trying to hold them back, that having them elevated in front of 50,000+ people might be the place to do it. It's not a title that the Bucks need. They already have their status as EVPs and can be power hungry. It's just a prop then to them, right? So I'm So I'm hoping, and I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna say pick the Bucks now that I talked this out with you. I'm gonna pull for the Acclaimed. They have more reason to win. Yeah. So I'm gonna stick to my hope and my want and my think all together. They're all aligned today.
I promise you, if the Acclaimed win, that pop is going to be one of the pop of the nights, if not the pop. So hope they pull it off. Like I said, I won't be surprised or upset if the Bucks win, but if the Acclaimed pull this off, oh my God, it will be momentous. It will live in memory, and I'm sure my wingman will record it, and then I'm going to pinch it and post it on social media and say it's mine. Ha ha. Next, I can't remember which order I did this in now, so I'm just going to do it in this order now. Next, I'm going to do the AEW Women's World Championship, the best story in wrestling right now, where Mariah May, the evil dastardly, I think I said this to the wingman as well, so I won't bother saying it again, but the hometown hero, in air quotes, Mariah May takes on Timeless Toni Storm. Oh, seriously, this is just the best story I have seen in a while, at least.
Yeah, I'm with you there. It's funny, people had predicted, oh boy, as soon as Mariah wins the Owen Hart title, then all bets are off, and Tony's gonna turn on her. It was the other way around. It was like Mariah was just using her. It was really well played. So kudos to the performers in making that. But then we've seen this complete outrage. Just Toni Storm is less trying to run from a fight and trying to run to the fight. And I like how it's lit up a new fire. Her hair is not propped like it used to be. It's combed straight. It's like all the personality's literally been stripped from her. I don't know if that's metaphorical with her hair being combed and being wet and down. And it's like, wow, she's going for the jugular with Mariah. Man, is everybody gonna pop for Mariah doing what she did to Tony? Like, what's that? Or do you think they call an audible in that match?
Mariah's going to get a pop because she's home. She's home crowd. Toni Storm is going to get one of the biggest ovations of the night the moment she comes out, and it's going to be a long old walkway. So it's going to. Everyone loves her. Now, I said, I don't know, beginning of the year, that I was never a fan of Toni Storm. In ring, she's great.
Yep, you said that.
Personality-wise, I couldn't get it. Her gimmick was all over the place. And then the time this gimmick happened, and she is now one of my favourite wrestlers, full stop. Shit, that the gimmick is just insane. Mm-hmm. The amount of times I keep saying, watch the shoe to people, and they look at me thinking I'm completely crazy. It's things that she's said and done that has stuck with me and many others. Is now in pop culture. It's just the transformation is unreal. as I said to the wingman, this match is it's not going to be a match. It's going to be a fight, and I can't wait. I really can't wait. Who'd you got down to win?
So I'm actually kind of gonna do addition by subtraction and try. I'm like literally doing wrestling math. I'm doing Steiner math and trying to figure this one out. So, I'm comparing this to the TBS title. I don't see Britt winning, and we can go into details about that. So if Britt doesn't win and Mercedes retains, Mariah getting a pop at home, even if it's, gosh, if Luther double crosses Tony too, I mean, wow.
Don't say that. Don't say that. My heart won't be able to take that. Don't say that.
No, I'm sorry. But yeah, I see Mariah winning. If any of the women's titles are going to change hands, I see Mariah winning it. She's the addition by the other one not capturing it. So yeah.
Wow.
Oh wow, but a Luther double cross? Yikes. That is just
No.
Sorry.
No.
It's already in the million verse or the podcast verse.
Yeah, that's the post verse.
Post verse.
Yeah.
Post-verse.
Post. I don't know. We'll discuss that off air.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of Tony losing. I really don't. She's got to win. She's got to win.
Me too. Yeah. Okay.
But as you said, that then kind of bleeds and lends itself to the next match, which is for the TBS Championship, which is Mercedes Moné taking on Britt Baker.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't think Britt's going to win?
Yeah, I not to say that Mercedes doesn't, but Mercedes. Now we already know that Camille is in her corner, and in listening to both you and your wingman talking, potentially Hayter's gonna hate, and if Jamie Hayter does make a return, is she cleared for contact? What does that look like? And having Britt's back,
I ain't got a clue. I haven't got nothing's.
Yeah.
I've been looking. I've been asking, and I cannot find anything about Jamie's injury status, contract status, if she's even in the country status. So yeah,
it'd be interesting. It'd be interesting. But yeah, I don't see Britt being the first real threat, and I'm not gonna yes, Mercedes defended the title, I think, against Sky Blue, maybe, and this is like her real first threat. So for her to lose it her first time out, big event, I mean, she's supposed to be all pomp and circumstance. I don't know. It would be really a departure from perception if she loses, right? Because it's got to all be about her. If she does, Britt will put up a valiant effort, and maybe Jamie comes out and she and Camille get into like something where they offset each other, but maybe that distraction is enough for Mercedes to get the better of Britt.
That's what I was thinking. Is to try and like stop the threat of Camille. She comes out and they brawl to the back or something, and then Mercedes it does a cheap way of winning.
Yeah,
and then
because it's still a distraction, right? Britt's still not winning clean because she's distracted by that altercation.
Exactly,
that's happening.
Exactly. I mean, they might set up or carry this on later down the line. Maybe all out. Maybe down the line to Grand Slam.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's especially if Jamie's back, full time back, and she's got Britt's back. So there's a lot of backs there. You're calling a Mercedes Moné victory. Makes sense. It really does make sense. Yeah, the more I think about what you just said, it could play out like it probably is going to play out like that. Because Mercedes can't lose this early.
Because the crowd will still pop, right? There's Jamie coming out, hometown girl, getting a reaction. I mean, there's still a lot of moments that are going to happen in this night where Mariah winning, and not every face is going to win, not every heel is going to win, but you got to treat your crowd, play to your audience a little bit, right?
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. I hate it when things make sense. I want to be shocked and mayhem everywhere. No, I don't
Carnage.
Really. I don't really.
On Carnage.
Carnage, yeah. We're going to the match which has probably got most of the fans' attention. Not this fan right here, but most of the fans that are going to the show. It is for the AEW American / International Championship. where Will Ospreay takes on MJF. This build has surprised me because I didn't think they would get when I found out that Will wasn't going for the World Championship and he was going to be the IC title, basically international title holder going into this like all in season. I was like, oh, okay, what's going to go on here? And then MJF was the opponent. I was like, I'm not sure this is going to work. The build they've had, chasing each other across the ocean, is just knocked me for six. As I said to the wingman, I can see a good match. I can't see a great match. What about you? What do you think?
I'm with you. I can see a good match. I can't see it being a Will Ospreay match to the skill set of MGF. I almost feel like he has to slow down, or his execution of moves has to be slower. And it's funny. It's almost like, I think you were talking about Randy Orton and how like he's a lot more methodical and slower moving. I just don't know. I mean, these two fought each other for an hour, right? And I couldn't tell you one thing that I felt compelled about that MJF did and when he won the title, but yet he's still going an hour in these matches. I think it's because he's just so infrequently competes that nothing necessarily stands out that he does. So I'm still of that mindset. If he was competing a little more regularly, then I could see it. But so anyways, in a long way of trying to go about saying this, but in this match, I don't think Ospreay wins it. Whether and listening to Logan and saying the betrayal potentially of Kyle Fletcher, I wouldn't like to see him betrayed. I already feel like I don't know if there was complete closure with the Don Callis family saying he needs to go on his own. I feel like what bigger a place to embarrass Ospreay in front of his home country, in front of 50,000 fans, and with his best friend's betrayal. Wow, all those things seem to make the most sense. And I think they pulled an audible because just how we said they booked themselves into a corner, what we thought was going to be Swerve Ospreay for this night, and they scale back and they've had to tweak and revamp stuff, and Swerve is getting more airtime. But yeah, for him to go for this title against MGF, still big name. But he beat Jericho last year, so he's kind of had a Wembley moment. If he loses tonight, I don't think it's clearly not gonna be the be all and end all. We're still gonna be a future AEW champion. It's just when, right?
It'll happen. I would say next year, but
yeah,
it's in Texas, so I don't know.
Well, it could happen. So isn't Double or Nothing considered their big annual? Because that was where it all started. Isn't that
Double or Nothing seen as It's like TNA Slammiversary, though, isn't it? It's not really. It doesn't really mean that much. I mean, All In is now their biggest show, as it's going to be next year because it's going to be in the Arlington, Texas.
Yep.
So it's. I reckon you're right. They've really called on Will Ospreay because they, as you said, they put themselves into a corner, and it's now just a matter of time until he does pick it up. They're not bringing back All In until 2026 over here.
You gonna go back?
He'll be champion before then.
Yeah. Are you gonna go back though? 2026?
More than likely. If I've got money, because obviously I have a trip to save for that year.
Well, that's going to be quite the decision making.
Do I go to All In Wembley 26, or do I host the first ever drunk cast? Not sure. I can do both. It'd be great. It'd be fine. Yes. And obviously, my wife is my financial accountant, so she would have paid off everything by then, and I'll have spare money, which means I'll be going. Will is going to be champion before they come back. I think it's got to be. He would have been in the company 3 years by that point. If he hasn't won the main title by then we'll all be crying out saying, "What are you doing, Tony Khan?"
Yeah, why hasn't he won it? we were mentioning the Casino Gauntlet. Hangman Page. Where's he?
Yeah.
Why is he not? So that's another call out. Starts to mind.
He's my pick.
Ah,
Hangman Page.
there you go. There you go.
He's for the Casino Gauntlet. He's my pick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we've got there, folks. We're at the final countdown. This is the main event. It is title versus career. Bryan Danielson against Swerve Strickland for the AEW World Championship. You heard our thoughts. What's yours, Mark?
Okay. In reading interviews from Bryan Danielson, it's funny to hear how he says his son wants him to win, his daughter wants him to lose, so he can stay at home. I think I think you guys hit the nail on the head. I see him winning, but these guys are both Washington boys, and they have I think Bryan wins it, and then I think every match. I think this ends up kind of being like the Mickey James retirement tour. Like if he loses because his title's always online, he retires. I think they could kind of weave that together, and that at Wrestle Dream he loses it back to Swerve, who's also at home.
Yeah. I that actually makes more sense. It's not as romantic as my theory.
No,
but it does make sense. Swerve gets his win back, and he also he gets to retire Bryan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I reckon
we're gonna see what's her name? It's not Nicole. What's Bree's first name? It's not Bree, but like it's abbreviated. I don't think they can call her Bree. It's something Garcia. And Swerve basically tries to get in the face of her and the kids, and that just like lights a fire under Bryan, and we end up seeing the win.
I wonder if Bree and the kids are coming over actually. And as you said, maybe
apparently,
they get used.
Apparently, they're supposed to all be in attendance. Yeah, in attendance, yes. Be on camera, it's different. Yeah, it's pretty graphic, especially even with fans using surly language. It's kind of like
I take offense to that.
Colorful.
That's such a stereotype.
Colorful language.
Such a stereotype. Brits using colourful language. That's absolute fucking bullshit.
Sorry, I in saying that I was mistakenly eating my bacon as I was petting my pet beaver. That sounds awkward. That just sounded my pet moose. I'm not even sure which one of those sounds better, but yeah.
Oh man,
I'll just drink this maple syrup and keep it to myself. No, it's a good intro. Good intro.
Dude, you've really got to like do a pod in a British accent. That'd be so good.
How was it? Was it good?
Don't, man, my throat. Oh my god. I'm so glad we've now got to the end of this because I don't think my throat will hold that much more. So just recapping. Just recapping, you think Bryan's gonna get the victory?
Yeah, there's too many signs pointing for like he's motivated to win. Although why mention that this he's retiring at basically I'm confused. Is it like working full time or working at all? Like if this is outright, then maybe that's the decision, is that when he does lose it, it's outright. There is no part-time wrestling.
Well, I think the impression was it was very open-ended, wasn't it? It was I'll retire, but he didn't say whether or not it would be retire from wrestling in a ring or going backstage or being part-time. So yeah, that will probably get cleared up in the next few days, I would imagine, with amount of press that's going on over here with the entire roster. So yeah. It's one whole great big shebang of a pay-per-view. I'll take you're watching live.
I will be watching live, and I will be cheering on my UK family as they sit comfortably in which section? How far back or forward are you going to be?
I think we're sitting up with the pigeons right at the very top. But Wembley Stadium, you can get a good view anywhere. And to be fair, we won't be. we're so far away. We won't be watching the ring because they'll just be specs. So we'll just be watching the great big bronze. But yeah, it's going to be an amazing time. Cannot wait. It's the biggest biggest wrestling show we've ever gone to. 50,000 plus. Sorry, it's going to be insane to have that many like-minded wrestling fans. It's just like I'm home. These are my people, and my wife is probably going to get annoyed with me. I reckon about 15 minutes of us taking our seats. That's what I think, because the chants, the woos, everything. And as I said, talking to my wingman, if the final countdown does play, I'm going to sob like a baby.
Oh,
I'm sure she'll take videos.
They have to. They have to.
Of my love. But yeah, I can't wait. I will give you a brief rundown on next week's show about our experience, I suppose. I might get the wingman's. I might try and get him on again. He may not want to, so I'll just say might for now.
You might get a young female's perspective on.
Oh, really?
Well, I have spoken to my little people, and I have approached her, and I said, well, Logan is going to share his thoughts. What would you think about sharing your thoughts for Bash to Berlin? And like her eyes widened. So I don't know. Let's see. We would have to do something similar where we pre-record and send it in, and hopefully I can keep it to about 10-15 minutes. I mean, that's always the goal. Stuff deviates all the time, right? But
we may have opened a Pandora's box here where we will just get kicked off the show and our kids just take over and do a better job.
Probably.
Man, nothing in my life is mine, It's always taken away from me. Bloody children. We have gone super long this week, so we're going to call it quits now. Let's do a bit of housekeeping. And if you drop your socials, Mark.
Sure thing. Sorry, one last thing to promote. As this goes live and everybody hears this on the Friday morning, you'll be able to also check out my preview of All In written text. What other kind of text is there but written? On ProWrestlingPost.com. It's our preview of the 9 matches we talked about, and then I go into a little detail about 0 hours, one match that's been announced as of Wednesday, of we're recording it, at Pro Wrestling PST on the Twitter box, and at the Mark Madison also on Twitter. You can also reach me on Instagram at Pro Wrestling Post, and you search us up on Facebook at Pro Wrestling Post. Be one of the thousands that are following. Like, share, subscribe. Subscribe? I don't have to really subscribe. Just you could subscribe. I'm not really sure where the money's going to go. It's not going to Mr. Blake or I. Somebody is. Maybe another Mark.
I'm sure someone's making money out of us. I just get a feeling that they are. Excuse me, my voice is literally going. I'm on Twitter at the Mark Blake. No, I'm not. What am I? I don't know.
You are. I swear.
I am. It's the Mark Blake. Yes. I'll, in the run up to All In, and especially on the day of, I'm going to post as much wrestling, in my wife's words, crap as possible for all of your enjoyment. I'm going to try and see people and just have fun and bring you all along for the ride. And the same again on Instagram, which is the_Mark_Blake. The same kind of situation is going to happen there. So if you miss it on Twitter, you can find it on Instagram. I'm going to go now. I'm going to go take a lemon sip and have a lie down. And on that bombshell, we will see you next week. Adios. Goodbye. Love you all. Bye-bye.
Ciao.